anytime we want, we can have curl R by modus tollens, because there's everything we need right there. Anytime we want, we could have Q horseshoe S by hypothetical syllogism. Agreed? All right, that's good stuff to know, because I'm betting one or both of those is going to happen. Now, our conclusion is a dot that does not exist. There's only one way to get it. What? Huh? We need to create a dot. There's only one way. Those are the creations over there. There's only one way to create a dot. Conjunction. That is the last step of the proof. There's no doubt about it. Proceed. If you have the conclusion of conjunction, if you have it, you know exactly what the two premises have to be, right? In this case, what are they?
Q.
Thank you. And there you go. Need that on a line by itself? Need that on a line by itself? Got two shots. Do you see how to get either one of those at this time? Because it's something we noticed when we were just looking over our premises.
Modus tollens.
Modus tollens. Which one of those are you going to obtain by modus tollens? Q or curl R? Which?
Curl R.
Okay, get it. Then we'll worry about Q. Well, we know where that's coming from. Right? Those already exist. They're ready to go. Now all we need is Q. You know what? This book has a typo in it. Who has the 12th edition? You could verify this. We found this out in my Tuesday class. It's curl Q. Fact. Trust me. It's a typo in that 14th edition. So much for believing something because it's in a book, huh? So now we're trying to get a curl. We're trying to create a curl that does not exist. There's only one way to do it. You know what it is. Draw it up. What is the only way to create a curl? Modus tollens. Need a horseshoe whose antecedent is Q. Do we have a horseshoe whose antecedent is Q? Line 1? What is the consequent of line 1? So what does our second premise have to be of this modus tollens? All right, we're cruising. Now, does curl R exist or not?
That's number
Yeah, we're going to get it ourselves. It's not in the original argument. We're going to get it ourselves and use it again. Right? So again, I want you guys to tell me which one of these steps has to precede the other. Figure that out. Do we need to create curl R before we use it as a premise in another argument? Or do we need to use it as the premise in an argument before we create it? What has to happen first? Huh?
the first one.
You get in the premise first.
Well, let's see. You're saying this has to happen first, so we're going to get curl Q, right? That's what you're saying. From line 1, and where's curl R? Because we need curl R as a second premise. Where is it?
2 and 3.
Well, it has to exist on the line by itself if we're going to use it here. So I'm saying, where is it?
You have to create it.
Thanks. This has to happen first. So this is going to be line 4. Right? That'll exist when we get there. That then is line 5. Oops. All right, no way we can go to 9:45 or whenever this class is over. This is it's too taxing. So I want to go without a break until, let's say, like 9:15, 9:20. We'll pick it up when we come back from that little vacation. But you guys need to learn the rules, and you need to practice these on your own, even the ones that we've done and are in your notebooks. Don't look at the answers. You've got them there. You know, you can check your work. Everything on your test is coming from these exercise banks. 2 two-step proofs, 2 three-step proofs, 1 proof of more than 3, although I'll tell you how many. 1 English language argument to be translated and proven, and again, I'll tell you how many steps the proof is. So let's go into about 9:15 or 9:20 without a break, if you're good with that. I'm still going to save number 4. Go to number 7 then. Modus ponens, modus tollens, absorption, most obviously. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Disjunctive syllogism, second premise of constructive dilemma. Simplification, A curl that does not exist. You should know right now what the last step has to be. It's a curl that does not exist. What's the last step of your proof?
Modest total.
Boom.
Well, the only thing that's possible in the future is if there is a lot of information. I think we use a pattern, I think that's the only thing that can cause multiples if there is a relation. That's the problem.
I find my own music.
You know, they should know better. They're right. They definitely should not just know that. They won't know that. There's a problem.
So, I take it you've drawn up your modus tollens like we do all the time. We know it's going to be line 6, the last step of the proof. That's where 6 is coming from. We know the first premise has to be a horseshoe whose antecedent is T. We know the second premise has to be a curl, a negation of whatever the consequent of that first premise is. Well, do we have anything that resembles that? I think line 1 is the natural assumption to make, right? It is an assumption, but it's a good one. On that assumption, take out that variable. See, we do the same thing all the time. Put in U, because it is line 1. Second premise, therefore, has to be curl U. That's a U. See, so prior to that last step occurring, we have to somehow get curl U. Well, curl U exists here in line 2. What do you think? Is there any way curl U might come out of line 2 as the right-hand disjunct of a wedge? You think so? By what rule? All right. Let's say that's what's happening. If that's happening, what do we need as a second premise for our disjunctive syllogism? Mm-hmm. Curl what? Curl V. I'm betting curl V doesn't exist on a line by itself. So prior to this happening, we have to somehow obtain curl V. Does curl V exist anywhere? Yes, it does, in line 3. There's some way to get it out of line 3? Here you go. Oops. This is going to occur in reverse order. Curl V has to be had first, so it's going to be line 4 of the proof. Because we need it, see, to extract curl U. So curl U is going to be line 5 of the proof. It'll be waiting for us when we get there. Aha. Pretty slick. Yeah, I'd say 2 more. Well, we could save some 3-step proofs to ease on into it in 2 weeks. Although, you should have done them by then. We'll be caught up with our other class anyway by then, after we do these 2. Ladies and gentlemen, see this setup right here? What are we looking at? The premises of? No. Did you say modus ponens? Modus tollens. What would our conclusion be? Curl what?
Curl Z.
Hey, we need curl Z. That looks promising. Look at these 2. Premises of what argument form? Find it. One, 3. Modus ponens. What would our conclusion be? Why? Hey, look, we need it. And our conclusion is a dot that does not exist. So what's the last step of the proof right now? What do you know? No?
Should it be X?
No? Should what be X? This is our conclusion we're after. Y dot curl Z. That's how to get it. Right? How are we doing? Well, we noted how we could get either one of them, both of those, right? At the outset. I say again, look over your premises before starting the proof. Anticipate what can be done because it's going to be done. Maybe not everything, but some of them. What do you want to get at this time? Y or curl Z? Your choice. Curl Z? How are you going to get it? 2, 3? So that's where we're getting those numbers from. They are lines 2 and 3 respectively. How are you going to get Y?
Line 1.
I think you need more than line 1. And what rule? Exactly the ones we noticed when we looked over the premises at the beginning. Exactly. Now, look at this. We need Y on a line by itself, and we need curl Z on a line by itself. And these premises and these premises, they all exist at this time without any work on our part. Do you think it matters which one of those we obtain first? No. It doesn't matter which one you obtain first because you have everything you need for each of them. By everything you need, I mean the premises exist already in the original argument. So there's no difference between the proofs should different students obtain those, in a different order. However, having said that, this personal preference, I want to get Y first and then curl Z, just because that's the order I'm going to use them for conjunction. I just think it's prettier, that's all. It's not a logical consideration, it's aesthetic consideration. So I'm going to get Y first from 1 and 3. See, that's going to be my 4. And then I'm going to get curl Z. Modus tollens. That's going to be my line 5. And then put them together. Questions? Okay, between the start of class and now, are some of you you're picking this up more, aren't you? Okay, we're going to do one more, and then you guys need to practice. Look at it as a game. It should be fun. It's challenging. It is. Take some time to try to learn your rules. It becomes a pretty easy game. Okay, I like to close it down by getting a student to show us your work. Not necessarily the work, but the proof. You should have the correct notation there. We all know what that means. That's the purpose of it. So you have to show all that work. This would be number 9. You know what to do. Look over your premises, anticipate what could be done, and the conclusion if possible. See that conclusion D? See that D right there? That D wants to go home. Send him home. Ah. Like this. Anybody play an instrument? What do you play? How about you? I dabble. Jazz flute. Or perhaps it's Yaz flute. I'm not sure. Aqualung. It's exhilarating. No, I don't play flute. How are we gonna get that D home from line 2? There you go. It's going to need some help, though. What do we need to help D get home by disjunctive syllogism? Where's curl C? Line 4.
Yeah, to create line 4.
Where's curl C in our original argument? Oh, but it's stuck in a horseshoe. We need to free it from that horseshoe. How are you going to free it? You're going to need help. How are you going to free it by modus ponens? What do you need as a helper? Are you getting A wedge B from line 1? How are you getting it from line 3? How many people are done? What? Give them a minute or so. Did you hear our conversation? Because we just, in an odd way, described the proof. We're sending D home by disjunctive syllogism. It needs a helper, curl C. Curl C's trapped. Oh wait, curl C? Yeah, curl C's trapped in the horseshoe. We must free it by modus ponens. Again, we need help. We need A wedge B. Not coming out of line 1. Gonna have to create it. Well, how many people now done? Let's see. What? 1, 2. Ah, there's another one. Well, who wants to show us your proof? Take us home, like D. You're going to do it according to the most exacting standards of format, aren't you?
I am.
Okay. Hold it. Did you do it correctly? Anybody else concur? Got one guy looking at it saying, yeah, it looks all correct. Anybody else? some of us, we should all know enough to verify. She got commas after her numbers. She has the correct abbreviations, including upper and lower case. The periods and the abbreviations in the appropriate place.